Now then, welcome to the very first episode of the Grael Podcast. I can't believe we're actually here. I'm Joe.
And I'm Mike. And we're here to literally do something which we chatted about for a long time.
Long time.
Yeah, do our first podcast.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for absolutely ages, and we've always wanted to share our stories that we have daily, chinwagging all the time anyway, so it's nice to finally get them out there to the public. Yeah. So, this episode, God's honest truth, we just wanted to introduce ourselves a little bit. We wanted to strip it right back, let people know a little bit more about us, and then we'll fill it all in with your stories, with all the exciting shoe cleaning tips. We've got plenty to go with it.
Definitely. And it's not going to just be all about shoes, fashion. We're doing life in general, life stories, our stories, other people's stories. We're going to get guests on. We were going to be dead interested. You're going to be made up to hear from them. Again, just all there about their life and everything. So, yeah, we're excited to get going, aren't we?
That is it. I think God's honest truth as well, the podcast thing's always been something we've wanted to do because we've got so many tips, so much knowledge on certain topics that we just love to share, and we seem to think it's valuable. Whether it actually is, we'll figure that out along the way, but we do just want to get it out there, build a bit of a community around it, and kind of just let people know some of the tips, some of the tricks we're doing all the time, loads of little things. But yeah, I'm sure they'll figure that out along the way. But as we said, today is all about us and our little stories, how we become who we are and why we're here and all that nonsense. So if you'd like to start with you, we go right the way back. If you'd like to just take us all the way back to when you first were born, all that things, where are we at? Let's go.
So what am I? I'm 1981 born. Dad's Greek Cypriot. Mum's Welsh. I was a mongrel. Born in Liverpool. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mum's a little yucky dad and all like that. Born. Dad, I don't actually think was at my birth because he was in the chippy and couldn't leave because it was rush hour. You know what I mean? Yeah, so
no way.
When he actually turned up, my mum was like, nah, I don't want him in.
What?
He's not coming in. He's missed another one. Because I'm one of three, aren't I? I'm one of three brothers, so I'm the youngest. And so born into a chippy family, typical Greek family, that side. Yeah. And literally I was a boss family, you know what I mean, well loved and all like that, but when it got older and all that, the work side kicked in, and my dad had us working, all three of us from, I think I was working in the chippy from about 11, 12 years old.
Really?
Yeah, my mum would pick me up from school on a Friday and she'd drive me straight to chippy, and I'd have to do Friday, Saturday night in the chippy, helping out, cutting chips.
Fair play there,
just doing.
Actually, genuinely, I'm learning stuff about you as we're going here. I didn't even know that.
100%. And that's one of the things that's always sort of probably instilled the hard work into me, following my dad's sort of footsteps on that side. But it was also, it could have been a slight downfall because he worked too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, only saw him on a Sunday really because he was coming in 11:30 at night. So Sundays were...
Yeah. You do notice that now though, I was 15, but when I first started working, but going forward into the modern day now, I don't really see me like 15, 14, you don't really get it. It isn't, you get your work experience and stuff like that, but starting work that early, it's unheard of. 11, 12, no, you starting work at 11, 12.
No, 100%, mate, the generation's completely changed. It's literally, you ask them to do a day's work at 16, it's like, wow, what do you mean?
Way. Trying to get them off the game's the hardest thing.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
No way you're getting them starting 11 and 12. So after that then, so when you first start kind of 11, 12, where do you kind of go from there?
So, school life sound, done all right. College, laughing, literally passed me test. So again, I was just back in 2, and then I was...
How old did you pass test?
So I was thinking about this before, because I was thinking of stuff for the podcast. So I was actually, as soon as I turned 16, my dad was taking me out in the work van.
In the work van? Yeah. That's a tough first drive, that.
Yeah, giving us lessons around Sevy Park in the work van at 16. It was like Sunday morning. And then, because I was doing the Saturdays working there, when I got all right at driving at 16, he'd actually let me go and do deliveries at 16. Now, I don't know whether I should be saying this, I can get into trouble or what. But yeah, he literally would let me go and do a couple of deliveries on a Saturday morning. It's literally only down the road, you know what I mean?
What was he delivering though?
Food.
Just full?
Yeah, Scran's still a hairdresser's down the road.
No way.
Yeah, so by the time I hit 17, I could drive. So
Legally?
Well, I passed my test within 2 weeks.
So you passed your test?
Yeah.
So you've done all your lessons?
Literally walked into the car and the fella was like, wow, you can drive here? I was like, I know.
My dad taught me that.
Yeah.
Work, fam.
But then as soon as I could drive, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go somewhere else. So I actually got a job in Warrington.
And that's your first proper
job.
Yeah.
Call centre on the phones.
Okay.
You know, those annoying people. Do you know when you're belling people like, can I speak to the bill payer?
Oh, no.
And then you're just like, I don't want to speak to you. Yeah.
How long did you last there then?
What did I do there? Done about 17 to 21 there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'm learning all sorts about you.
Yeah, so I done there.
I thought we were mates and that. That's mad. I didn't know anything about you.
Yeah, so I done that. And then literally all my mates came as well because it was good pay at the time. But then, like, they just dropped the bonuses out, like, complete. So it was not worth me driving. And I was surviving. I had, like, a brand new little fizz bomb paying for a little Fiesta.
What colour?
I was getting blue.
Blue, yes. That's off easy.
And I had that. But, like, my payments on that, whatever I had to pay out, when you work it out, I was minus every month, but somehow I still managed to pay for my car, my insurance, go out every night with my mates, like, to whatever night was on that night.
Balling.
And I still, I don't know how the hell I did it.
Oh, bye.
Yeah.
Fair play to you there, like.
Yeah. So done that, left that, went to Abbey National on the docks, not there anymore.
No.
Insurance. And then I was like, at this time I'd gone to uni as well.
Okay.
So I'd done a degree at uni.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I'm not going to get anything at the end of this. Now I'm going to have to get a job in an office, and it's not me there. And at the time I was looking at my dad and my brother who'd now gone and worked for my dad. Yeah. And they were making good money, so I was like, right, I'm going into the family business.
Your kid at the time?
He's 5 years older than me, so he would have been about 25, 26.
Yeah, he's in his prime there then.
Yeah, he bought his own house, he's driving around in a brand new convertible Mercedes at the time, and I'm like,
Do you know, this sounds like a super question this night, yeah, but I'm curious. Do you know this salt and pepper chicken nonsense, was that actually like as big of a deal then, as much of it is
No,
now?
it only come in. So going on from that, when I went back to, like, I quit my job and all like that, I was like, right, I'm going to start in the chippy, I'm going to work there. So went and worked in there, like, and then ended up my dad sort of semi-retiring for a bit, and me and my brother run this chippy we had in Warrington. And then on the back of that, we sold that shop, and I got my own one then. So
okay, yeah.
So it wasn't until I had my own shop, what we were talking, maybe about 15 years ago, something like that. That's when you started to see 2000s. The salt and pepper chicken come in then.
Yeah.
I'd never heard it. It was my chef. He just like, I'll try that. I was like, sound that.
Yeah, I'm addicted.
But it was everything then, especially because my chippy was in St. Helens. So like, they're like, oh, can you do me salt and pepper sausage? Can you do me salt and pepper doner meat? And anything that you could put in your mouth was salt and pepper, then you're like, wow.
Chips, chicken, anything else, jibby.
Yeah.
In the Duke Street Market, they do salt and pepper Brussels sprouts. Fun fact, they fully do salt and pepper Brussels. Too far, absolutely leg it. But back to the actual point and away from the salt and pepper chicken that I love.
Yeah.
When you kind of get your own shop, where'd you go from there then? Well,
that was it. It was like, I'd done it and it was all right, you know what I mean? It gave me a good wage, but then you just start seeing like everyone doing stuff and you're stuck in work all the time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, mate, I can't be doing this. This is...
Get you there. Yeah.
And then I'm getting to work every morning at 8:30, doing the same thing every day. I don't leave till 11 o'clock at night. Get home.
There's no life.
And then, like, obviously in that time I met my wife, Leslie, and got married and all that. And it was one of them. I'm still... I had no life. I'm newly married and all like that. But I've got no life here. So I just took the punt and put my shop up for sale.
Really, yeah. What year is that then?
So that was 2000 and I think 2015, 16, around there.
Best thing you've ever done?
100%.
Really, yeah?
Yeah.
It's mad that, innit? Just bite the bullet and the whole life's just completely changed straight away.
Yeah, and it was like one of them where it was like, what am I going to do here? I don't know what to do next, but I need to do it. I need to get out of this. It's bringing me down big time. So I, as I said, I put up for sale, got someone to the first person, and luckily enough,
was it?
it's a sort of sad story really. The fella who bought my shop owned the like convenience store next door.
Okay.
And he was an Indian gentleman, so we just knew him as Grandad, because that's what everyone in the area called him. So he bought my shop, and he was also a recovering alcoholic.
Okay.
Yeah. He was about 2-3 years sober. So he bought my shop. Apparently within the first 6 months of buying my shop after I sold it to him,
he got back on the aisle.
He got back on the aisle. And it's like, oh, did I
What
cause that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the hard work, like. So, yeah, I was just like, stay clear of that one, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not going back there.
And is it still going?
It's changed hands about 5 times since, so don't know what it is anymore.
Do you think that's just Chippy's on a whole, or that shop?
Do you know what, Chippy's, for me, if you get one which is established and good, like the obvious ones which we all know, like your Bairns and Jumbos and all like that, yeah, they're staying around for like a long time. But if you try and, I'd say now, if you try and go and open one, especially for the price of everything, because I look at stuff to see what the price is like, and bore you for a sec. Price of spuds when I had my shop was 9 to 11 quid for a bag of spuds. They're now like 25 quid.
Ah,
yeah, it's scandalous. But so that's one of the reasons I got out. And then so we took it on, and then I was just out, and I was like, what to do now? What to do? And that's when obviously
Grael
found that.
That's got its whole other story, hasn't it, Grael? I think, what's it now, 5-6 years?
No, longer than that, 2017.
2007. Was it, yeah?
Yeah.
And you got the first shop when?
So I got the shop, I got the keys. So I started Grael in 17, got the keys and opened in 18. Obviously downstairs, which you know anyway, because this is how I came to meet you.
This is where we then collided, didn't it? Yeah.
And we spoke about this the other day, didn't we?
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Do you want to tell how I met you? Because you peppered me.
You can tell how I met you, because you'll tell it your way, and I'll just have to sit here going all embarrassed, red-cheeked and all that, because I was just a proper cheeky teenager.
Yeah, because how old were you back then, 2018?
So, for me, I go leave college about 16, 17, and then I've kind of just lingered and fell into exec around about the later end of my 17, so I must have been about 7,
Okay.
Must have been. But I think all that, I'm always proper going back and forth myself about them times. I think I remember it, and then I'm like, I'd kind of been 17, you know what I mean? I'm always doing that, but yeah, must have been 17, because I left school when I was 15, because I'm August, aren't I? So I'm like the youngest of my year. So, yeah, when I kind of left school, I started working for our sister, my auntie. We had a successful financial advisors business, which is still going today. And I kind of was just making the teas in there, just pottering about, just still being a cheeky chappy. And then I literally was helping me dad's friend out on site as well. And he suggested to get in touch with this lad who was buying and selling clothes at the time, which was Exec Menswear, which we all know about as well. So that was that. And I was like, okay, so I got a pair of Kenzo runners off him. They were these blue raspers. They were shocking nowadays. But at the time, I thought, yeah, I'm on here. So anyway, I've got them. And at the time, Joe was based in Crosby. So he come all the way up to Huyton to drop them off around that time. And I didn't try them on, nothing. I'd literally just got them. I was like, yeah, there's the 100 quid. I think it was like a day later, I tried them on, and I was like, these are just nowhere near it. Absolutely massive on me, because I let it secret out the bag now. Yeah, I am a size 6. And in designer shoes, I'm a size 5. But anyone who's over like size 8 or 9 is an absolute aliens anyway. But we'll leave that there. That's a little man problem. So after that, I've kind of told them, look, these don't fit me at all here. Like, I'm just stuck with these. He was like, but you're going to have to bring them back to Crosby. So 15... My dad won't let me drive the work van at the time. So I had to get my mum to take me all the way to Crosby, which she did, as she always would. And she took me there. I gave the shoes back to Joey, give me the money back. And that was about that. Up until about, probably about 6 months later, he put this Montclair jacket up, and it was a belter. People still love them now, the little windbreaker with the lines on. Remember that one? It was the navy one with that. And I think he done me for like 130 or 140. I was thinking, yeah, bargain. So I've come over from my auntie's job at the time on my break, done making all the butties and teas and coffees and all that nonsense. Come over on my break, and Joe goes to me, here's the jacket, can you mind the shop? I was like, don't really, like, I don't know. He was like, well, I'm just needing to shoot to the dry cleaners here. Can you just man the shop? I was like, I think my auntie and see what she says. So I rang her to and she's like, yeah, sound as easy as that. She weren't keeping hold of me. So yeah, get out of here. Like, yeah, sweet. So that was it then. I spent the afternoon minding the shop, and then over time, I kind of just picked up more days and kind of started doing certain things that were needed or whatever around the time. So then I'd be there a bit more, and then ever since, I've always just been a proper Del boy. I've been doing this, doing that. I have always been. And then obviously I've been travelling and stuff, which I'm sure we'll fill you all in the episodes to come. But yeah, there has literally just been dipping toe in here. But that was kind of the start for me in a career. You know what I mean? Kind of getting into it. And it was clothes. I was doing all sorts as well. I was working like on site with my dad's mates. Could have went down the joinery route. If he had any form of brains, I could have went down with artists and all them and start doing some more financial stuff. But
that's where I met you. You were working on site at the time.
Yeah, was it then? Okay.
Yeah, and what did you bring? And I'm sure it was a pair of Balenciaga Arenas, was it?
Yeah, I remember harassing the living daylights out of it. But that's the thing. This is another topic that I'm sure we will fill in. But at that time, them Balenciaga Arenas were the bollocks.
Oh, yeah.
They were 365, and that was like, bomb. Someone said to you, 365 for a pair of shoes. Now people are buying two. People are like, oh yeah, son, I'm 365.
Yeah, no, true.
You're missing out, yeah. They were it, but I remember harassing you.
Yeah, because you literally wanted new laces on them, but it was like, I'd say, oh, the dues will come, but I'll let you know as soon as they come. But every morning, like 8 o'clock, as soon as I got in, there'd be messages like, those laces come, lad. Or you'd be there at the door, those laces come yet. I'm like, lad,
hurry up.
Give a break, you know what I mean?
I didn't want much, did I? Just want my laces.
And that's when I remember, like, you went up to see Joe, and I think, I'm like, without sounding offensive to you, I think I had a conversation with Joe. I was like, what's going on with that lad?
This little pain,
he's
still
a little pest.
That's me, just got a bit of a ban. No, nothing's
But remember, you obviously, because Tom was working with Joe at the time as well.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Tom used to work for me for a long time, but he's gone to live in New Zealand now. And he was superb at his job, but like he was also.
Oh, Tom's a businessman.
He always just wanted to go. Yeah, he was a businessman, but he also wanted to see the world, and that didn't he as well?
Yeah, Tom loved it. Tom was a proper traveller. Tom always wanted to be out there doing the snowboarding, the skating. Not just him. He's a cool dude, but he was unbelievable.
But he was obviously working with Joe at the time, and then he had a girlfriend who lived in Sweden. So he went over there for like 2-3 weeks. Yeah,
I remember that.
She went over there for he went over to see her for 2-3 weeks and come back and he had no job. You'd moved in. But then I was like, come and work with me, it'd be sound. So it worked out nice in the end, to be honest.
You just swapped, didn't we? Yeah. It was basically, we were very similar, weren't we?
Well, that was it. So obviously I met Joe because he used to come to my house.
Okay.
I had to get shoes cleaned and that. And then I was like, I've got that space upstairs, because I never thought I'd get to the point where I'd need that space upstairs. I'd be that busy, which obviously you've seen it now. I need a new shop. Yeah.
You need that space upstairs.
Yeah. So Joe was like, oh, I'm after a place in town, and it was the best thing for him as well, because obviously he was driving everywhere at night time, pick up, drop off. As you said, he went from Crosby to Huyton to do
a pair of Kenzo,
stuff that. So he had the shop upstairs, and then I remember watching him sort of grow as well, which was nice because it was all new to him.
Yeah.
So I think I opened at 10, he opened at 11, but he'd come in at or I'd be getting customers coming in to go upstairs to him at 11:30, and I'm like, he's not here yet. Yeah. So I'd be ringing, like, I'm on my way in now, I've been out last night, because he didn't need to work the nights anymore, you know what I mean? So he was like living his life again. He was going out all the time. So, or he'd come in, and I had that chair in the front, didn't I? And he'd just fall asleep in the chair, and I'm like, Joe, got a customer there, you know? So it was had a good time. Then obviously he grew as well, which it was boss, because we both, like, our businesses went like the same pace together, bigger and bigger. And then it was like I went to him, but it was also at the same time he would come to me to say, I need a bigger space.
Yeah.
So he moved out, you went with him. Yeah. And then obviously I pushed on and went upstairs as well with more storage and everything. Which is
as well, then,
it
utilised that space very well over the years, like, I haven't really think about it. But to think that's where it all kind of come together, absolutely mental, innit?
But I think I remember it like Christmas week, the last Christmas, it was the first and last Christmas, I was still cleaning the home, and I'd have put a post up saying, I've done 110 pairs this week from my kitchen.
Wow.
Just to say thanks, and that, as you do, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, I'm looking at, there's days when I'm pushing towards doing that in one day, you know, over Christmas period.
Yeah, now.
So it's like, wow, boss.
It is, it's incredible, isn't it? And how much room there is for it to grow still is absolutely frightening, isn't it? Because there's even a lot of people who don't even know what we do and what we're trying to achieve and where we're going and stuff like that. People don't even know about us in some places, in some areas as well. So that's another purpose for why we are here, isn't it? To kind of get some new eyes onto the podcast and share some stories to a load of different people who would never even have heard of us. So no, it'll be exciting to keep going.
Basically, on the back of that, it's like one of them where I've been going that long now. I've grew to what I have, but also I'm not nowhere near as where I wanted to be. There's like, I thought I'd have 2-3 more shops by now, and stuff like that. But we spoke again the other day, and I was saying, but I'd rather do it this way, where I perfect the technique of everything that goes on in that shop. Yeah.
Before we start branching out and doing ones and twos in different places. And
then again, going back to life takes over as well, like, sort of, like, obviously the positive was I probably grew too busy too fast, which you can't complain with, because, like, who wants to be quiet, you know what I mean? So you want to be as busy as you can be, and that was that. But obviously, like, shit goes on in life as well. Like, I'm probably the last 3 years of my life, you know, I lost my dad.
Yeah.
So that's taken over, like, well, those 3 years. It's only probably the beginning of this year where I've gone, right, I need to focus on me now, because all I've done for the last 3 years is obviously lost him, which was completely out of the blue.
Yeah.
And then me and my brother tried our best, and still do, to make sure my mum's as happy and as comfortable and everything as we possibly can, look after her in every way. And then obviously the business has still got to run. He's got his own business himself, and then you've got to, like, then in the middle of all that, you got to try and potentially grieve. And I still don't think I have, because I've not had that time to sort of sit. I think the one time, so this is going back to my dad was, because he was from Cyprus, he had a lot of stuff going on in Cyprus as well, house, land, stuff like that, bank accounts. So you don't just do probate over here when you lose someone who's got stuff in another country. You have to do probate over there as well. So I've had to go back to Cyprus probably on about me 6th or 7th trip in the last 2 years, because I'm trying to sort stuff out there. But the most unhelpful country you've ever met in your life when it comes to stuff like that, it's more like who you know rather than what you should know.
Same as Liverpool, then.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been back into there, and it's been like, as I said, no time to grieve. And I think the only one time was the first trip I went, because I had to go by myself, and I've never flown by myself before.
Haven't you? That first time?
Yeah.
Wow, I was young when I done that.
You have time to think.
You do. It's frightening.
And I literally started to, and I was on the plane, sat there, and I'm a window seat.
I'm the aisle.
I've got a window seat, and I don't budge. No matter how long the flight is, I will not budge.
Oh, no, we're different. Yeah.
Cyprus is 4.5 hours, but if it was a 12-hour flight, I'd still be in that seat come 12 hours.
Nah, I can't do that.
Oh, and I'll be holding me piss, and it'll probably piss me kecks. But
really?
Yeah, no, I will not budge.
That's horrid.
Yeah.
I have to be in the aisle, so if anything occurs, I can get up and get out and do my own thing. I can't, I'm just trapped in the corner. It's not happening. Not happening. So go on, you go.
Oh, so yeah, and I think that was the first time, because I was able to sit there in my own thoughts, and actually, my phone, couldn't speak to anyone on the phone. No one's ever getting hold of me, and I was able to just think about what's gone on. Well, it wasn't at that time, because the only thing I'm replaying is everything that's gone on, and no, you know what I mean. But no, it was good in that, because I felt like I've managed to process a bit of this here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that's the first time I've ever told anyone that, to be honest with you, because it's one of them. I don't like putting my own burdens on other people.
No, I get you.
Like, I'll be there for anyone, no problem at all. But
sharing, that's a man thing. That is just a man thing. It is, and
I think that's why I've managed to get through it pretty easily. That sounds horrible, because I've obviously lost my dad, but because I've had to concentrate on making sure everyone else was all right around me. Do you know what I mean? So it is one of them where I've like, it's done. Crack on. I can't do anything about it now. Just make sure everyone's all right. That is
it though, isn't it? Grieving, regardless of who, what, where, why, when. It is, every single person's totally different with it. Everyone completely deals with it in a total different light. But sometimes them things that occur, them big big occasions, the big things that happen in your life, the big trauma, whatever it can
Yeah.
be, they are the things that do ultimately make the path change a little bit. They change the direction. Something like that can happen, and you can bounce back and have the most positive reaction to it, or you can go the other way it does. It's a tough topic, and it's never easy. Losing anyone is it's absolutely horrible. But I think at that time as well, with how busy you was and everything like that, it was just tough regardless. So as much as it might have been even harder, probably can be the best thing as well sometimes, to just let you go over there on your own, on your flight, on your own, completely shut everything out and just do your own thing, be with your own thoughts. And that can help sometimes, but as I said, everyone deals with it differently, don't they? But to kind of come back from that, where'd you go from there? Where'd you kind of...
That's it. It as I said, for me, the business side probably took a hit a little bit because I was my head wasn't in the game at all, and luckily enough I had good staff around me who cracked on and did what needed to be done. I couldn't complain. And then like my wife, Leslie, she was me rock, literally. Like I couldn't have got through anything without her. It was unreal.
You need it. You need it for your hair, for your beard, to be rock, the support, the lot.
Massively. And she's probably similar in all honesty, because she'll never... She does everything for everyone, but she'll never ask for anything in return.
No, but she's
just moaning at me about it instead. Yeah,
that's women. She's self-employed as well, though, isn't she?
Yeah. But like even in that, she was getting her girls to come in so she could go into my shop to help out in my shop.
Yeah,
just like literally.
That actually. Yeah, I do.
So
it was a tough time, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was horrendous. As I said, because I think because it was so out the blue, it was literally like he'd gone in, and I've told you that, haven't I? He'd gone in for a heart operation and never come out because they made the mistake. Yeah, and they've admitted that.
Have they admitted to it now? Have they? Yeah. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I sat with the surgeon. I went to have the meeting with the surgeon for an hour and basically asked him outright, what you did to my dad, was that your fault? And he went, yeah. So
tough, that.
I know, it's,
How was the surgeon? How did he deal with it, like?
He was just like that. He said, would it change anything? Would it, because...
So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You never told me that.
So basically, it was... He went in for a heart operation on replace a ventricle.
Okay.
Sorry, replace a valve, ventricle.
Yeah.
And as the surgeon's been doing it, who was a student surgeon, it wasn't... My dad only met with the main surgeon, but the fella who'd done it was a student surgeon, and I think he said he was from Egypt, and they have a lot of heart problems there, so he'd done this operation 100 times, you know what I mean? So he said, when I asked him, like, would he have still been alive if he hadn't done what you'd done? And what he'd done in that, he'd nicked the wall of the heart, which they didn't know, by accident. It could have been when they were replacing it, whatever it was. So when they'd done it, that nick had gone from like millimeters, and then when they got my dad's heart going again, it literally split and just went to about 3 centimeters.
No way.
Yeah, and that's Wow. So that's what happened. So I sat there with the surgeon and like, if you hadn't done the operation, would he still be here? He went, yeah. And I'm like, right, but he said, I don't know for how long. Yeah. And then the other one, I said, and did what he'd do cause my dad's death? And he went, yeah. He said, but would it change it? No, because he needed the operation. It's just bad luck. Yeah,
that's very tough conversation to be having, isn't it? Especially
massively.
When it's about your own dad as well.
So,
bloody hell, I didn't even know it. I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I've still got to the recording of the conversation on my phone, because it's one of them where I've thought, do I go to see about getting something done?
You
and
can
when
go legal and...
that was looked at, but and it's not about money, it's more a case of the whole process of it, because he was shit on my dad when it come to like the whole process of it all, because he was complaining of such bad pain in his back, and he kept sending him home with like a pulled muscle or something like that.
Okay.
And it turned out that he had a massive infection, and this went on for like nearly 3 months, but no one had properly tested him. So it wasn't until we phoned his own doctor and said we phone an ambulance and he keeps sending him home, and his own doctor came out and went, there's something not right here, and he went to the hospital. Well, he contacted the hospital and said, we want this doing, and that's when they found this massive infection which gone into all his organs.
No way.
But they managed to clear it all up, but the only thing it had done is it actually rotted this valve, and that's why he needed the valve replacement.
Yeah.
So that's
unbelievable. That. How young was he? Your dad?
Would have been, so he died in the May and he would have been 70 in the September. No, that was in 3 years ago, yeah.
A big shout out to
I know, yeah.
the big man.
100%, because obviously I wouldn't even, well, I wouldn't be here without his...
You wouldn't have a licence.
Without his penis and his sperm, you know what I mean? But also, I wouldn't literally have Grael if it wasn't for him, because he obviously put me into the hard work and sort of mode that I needed to be 100%. Yeah. And probably too much, because, as I said, he was never there in the sense of like night times. He would work every night. Yeah. Have a Sunday off. So, and I was speaking to my brother about this the other day. We had boss Sundays off with him because he would always make sure we'd go out for the day. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Footy? Is he bothered for footy?
He took me first footy match and all like that, and come to watch me when he could and stuff. But like,
played. He tried to play.
Yeah, but she tried to play then. Yeah, that's about right now. 100%. My legs don't work anymore. Mate. It's sad, proper sad.
You playing lately?
Yeah.
Yeah, still playing on the Mondays?
Yeah, but it's...
Yeah, good on you.
It's shocking, like, it's getting worse.
Worse?
Oh, yeah. My legs don't move.
At all?
Nah. Not at all. It's proper depressing. Literally, like, do you know one of them? And I've spoke about it today. Do you know, I was looking at, like, Andy Robbo. Yeah. And it's like, people are nicking the ball past him slightly, and it's like, he's diving in like he used to maybe 4 or 5 years ago, because he would have got there. But he's gone that little bit slower, and they're just nicking it past him, and he's just a little bit late getting there.
That's what you're like?
Yeah, my head says I can get it.
Not the prime.
By the time I'm there, he's like in the box slotting it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you there. When you left right back?
Right back, yeah.
Right back, yeah. No one wants to be a right back. Carragher's saying that, innit? No one wants to be a right back. That's what he said, innit?
No one wants to be a Carragher, was it? Yeah. No, yeah. Shocking now, but it's all about getting old, innit?
It is, part and parcel of it.
Yeah, so anyway, we spoke about me long enough now. Let's hear about you. What's Joe all about?
So, 2000 I was born in Wiston. Yeah, Wiston Hospital.
Millennium baby, innit? Yeah.
Yeah, Millennium, that one. Yeah, me and my mum, my dad, and then she went on to have my younger brother a few years down the line. I was born with like hearing difficulties, so I had like a couple of complications with my ears growing up. It was always like nerve damage with me.
What's that?
Yeah, funny.
Sorry.
So it was just nerve damage. It was like 20% hearing loss, and I had like proper big Everton needs in early doors up to Sophies.
Is that still 20% now, or has that gone worse?
Probably gone worse, if anything. To be honest with you, it gets worse as you get older. So I had these proper big mad hearing aids in here, yeah, and they were bright blue, looked like Ben off EastEnders. He used to have the glasses. I had glasses as well. I had a stinker of a childhood, to be honest with you, with the looks and that. But yeah, that was that. Everything was pretty normal after of the hearing. God's honest truth. Primary school, all good. Secondary school, just had a laugh. It was like, I don't know. It was probably like a cool nerd. If you could ever use that description, I don't know, because I didn't know the right time when to shut up. I think I was never too naughty, but I was always cheeky. Still cheeky as anything, but was never naughty. And that's what my man always used to say to me, you've got no common sense. Yeah, fair. It's right. God's honest if she is. But yeah, that was about that. And then left school, 15, finished on a Friday. And on the Sunday, flew out to JFK. So went to America with my dad's friends for a little bit. And they've got a coaching company out there. So I started out there having a laugh and just whatever. And then I got proper homesick. And I always wanted to do it. That was
How long were you there for?
Only like two and a half months or something along them lines. I think it was 2 months, something like that. And I had like these hopes and dreams of like living in America and being a footy coach or a PE teacher. That was always what I wanted to do when I was growing up, to be honest with you. So yeah, kind of just done that and then come home. And there's a picture of me, man, still got it. I had an absolute face on when I come home. It was fuming. It was just gutted, it was. And then ever since, I've always just potted about and been dotting here, dotting there. Lived in Australia for a little bit as well, but yeah, kind of come home and carried on playing footy. Always played footy. Endless stories about footy. I'm sure we'll tell our stories over these little episodes of doing. But yeah, kind of. Then it is around that time where I was telling that story before of like working on site and working here and working with artists and doing this and doing that. I'm just finding my feet where I want to go and what I want to do, but still always wanted to be within football, within footy coaching, something along them lines. So then as I said before, I've literally fell into clothes. I have just felt, he's literally said to me on the day, can you man the shop? And yet that was like, it's probably been the rest of my career. It has always just been around clothes. Obviously when we moved to Australia and all that, you'd have on site, because that's just how it goes out there, but I'm sure we'll come back to that. That has literally just been me since I ended up minding the shop that day, to be honest with you. So yeah, I've just stuck with it right the way throughout. And then obviously when I've went travelling and stuff like that, I feel like I've kind of lost little bits of a career as such, where there's people are keeping their heads down in the job and taking the next steps, and they're going here and they're going there with it. I was just travelling. I was picking up, I was getting off, spending a month here, a year there, doing what I've been here, there and everywhere.
That's
so yeah, I think it has been absolutely eye-opening, like going and travelling and seeing some of the things you've seen. But now coming back, obviously come back about 6 months ago, and in that time now, since being back, I've just absolutely kicked on with all sorts of different things. We've obviously got the Grael thing going off, we've got the podcast now, we're working in Moray, and we're also doing the soul events, soul side, which is going to be on the Box Park as well. So no, there's a lot going on now we're back, but it was a bit weird, to be honest with you, going to Australia without a trade. You don't realise that, you don't really see that, you know.
Yeah, I get that, but I think at the same time it was probably the best thing for you, because you go over there without, like, you just same routine day in day out, that, and you literally you just went. And I remember you coming in going, I'm going to go to Australia, mate. I think it was like, and I thought, he's not going, no chance. I think I said it to people in the shop, no chance, he's just
full of it.
chatting shit, But then literally you come in and went, done my application and all this, that, the other, been accepted, I'm going next month. And I'm like, wow, sound okay, fair play. And like, anyone who does that, I'm jealous of 100%, because I never got to do that because I work so much. So I've always encouraged, like Tom we spoke about before, he's gone to New Zealand. I've always said to him, like, just live your life for now, do you know what I mean? Don't miss out on anything, because
he definitely does.
Yeah, 100%. And you've done the same. And like, I followed your story on Instagram and that, and you were literally in a different part of Australia every week. You were showing me pictures when you come back about like your fishing and stuff, and all that type of thing, you know what I mean?
Caught the first fish you ever caught was a black tip shark, about that big. It's an absolute belter. The skin on them's weird. You go one way, it's like sandpaper. You go the other, it's smooth. It's mad. It's a belter. That was only a baby. That's my claim to fame, like, for the fishing. I'm nowhere near fishing, tying knots and all that. You're messing around. I'm nowhere near it. That weren't me growing up. But yeah, that was kind of a little bit of a weird two years there, because when you're going and you're seeing this like glamorous big Instagram TikTok malarkey of getting up at 5 a.m. and living the best life, spending it down by the beach and all this nonsense, when you kind of go away without a trade, the whole setup is completely different, because I haven't had that trade. I'm not necessarily walking into a job. Whereas here, not necessarily walking into any job either, but it's who you know, like we're saying all the time. It's knowing him or chatting to that person or and all that through that. So they're like, oh yeah, you're valuable here and whatever else. Not whereas out there, I am literally just a foreigner in their big bad country, and I've got no trade, no skills, no nothing, because all I've ever done is just winged it, and it's experience what I've got. So it was a bit bizarre work-wise there, but I think the 35 degrees outside and the 40 degrees outside definitely makes that a lot easier to get on with, you know what I mean? But it was weird. I'd always recommend it, highly recommend it, like you're saying, go and live your life while you've got no responsibilities and all that, but have a little plan in your mind what you're going to go and do, like, because I was just like, exactly what you said, I'm off, see you later. Like,
I think yours is maybe a little bit different in one thing, because a lot of people go and they save up and they go travelling, and you know what I mean, they see Australia without a plan to actually work. There's other people who go and they've got a trade, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's totally if you've got a trade out there, you are absolutely fine. It is brilliant, best experience I've ever had, and definitely winged it and laboured here. I've done some mad jobs just to like plod on, you know what I mean, just to get by and pay the rent or whatever, to be honest.
But again, you threw yourself in the deep end by just going one day, right, I'm gone. But then you're doing the same when you're there, because, as you said, no trade, no plan, I've got to do anything. So, right, you take it on, sound, I'll do it.
That was it.
You know
Some
may
call it stupid, like,
but you're willing to do the graft to do it, and it's like, it's all stepping stones to basically make, because I like, since you've been back, your head's been like I need to do something, let's do this, like it's 100 miles per hour, but in a good way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're dead eager to do something and make something, and that's boss. And I think Australia's probably sorted you out to do that, because prior to that, you're working up the road.
Yeah.
And you're just like...
Just winging it. It was. And that's very easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
I find. And that's the thing I've noticed coming on, you know. I'm not that person to be like, shit in it, bored off with that. I can't stand that. I know fine well what I've come on to. I've lived here for 21 years, 22, whatever, and I got off 21, 22 years. I've lived here for that. I know exactly what I'm coming home to. I know it's cold, I know it's wet. But to still be like positive and keeping up with the Joneses and all that kind of behaviour is well harder here, regardless, no matter what you say, because naturally when I'm there, I'm given the weather, I'm given the beaches, I'm given the lifestyle, I'm given these things for just free. So naturally I wake up, I'm like, I've got a spring in my step, you know what I mean? Wake up here and you are not given nothing. Naturally, it is not giving me anything other than having your loved ones around you and stuff like that. And obviously for me personally, opportunities and whatever else, not what you know and all that, but generally to get up and kick on when it's fucking 2 degrees, it's dark, it's grey, it's wet, it's miserable, it's not positive. It's like, so I get why you are getting thousands and thousands of visa applicants each year. I do get that, I really do, but it is a shame as well, because you are then losing your nurses, you're losing your future joiners, you're losing this, you're losing that. So it's brilliant and go and live your life and this and that, but in a few years when we're trying to better our country and look for the next generation, you're going to struggle, because it's just getting right off.
Mate, like I'm in the sort of half the same boat at the moment. Given half the chance, I'd be gone, because it's big, and it's the weather's a massive aspect of it. Like the Greek in me comes out, Greek in me comes out, and I just want to wake up with the sun every day on me. But it's also like, and I don't want to go political at all in this like podcast, but I'll just literally touch on it slightly. But it's how much we have to pay on everything. And there was a fella the other day I saw on, I think it's been TikTok or something like that, and he put a prime example up why he's leaving the country. He was going to travel the world, starting in Mexico with his family. Yeah. And one of the things he said, and he was in a petrol station filming it, and he said, look what I'm doing, I'm filling my car up, I'm paying tax on that petrol to fill my car up, which I've already paid tax on to buy that car. I also pay road tax on that car, but with the wages that I've worked for and paid tax on to live in somewhere, I pay
tax on,
council tax on to drive on the road, I pay tax on, and I'm like,
it's right,
wow,
isn't it? When you think about it,
and it's like everything's taxed. And he was just like, nah, I'm not doing it anymore.
I think I read something. It was the UK was one of the highest countries this year for millionaires leaving.
No, it's true. I saw it myself.
Or we were high up there on the list. But it's a tough gig for anyone keeping going here, isn't it? It really is, and only kind of when you take yourself away from that, then that's when I've kind of realised. And obviously I've got a lot of growing up to do, and if I had different responsibilities, I would see it differently naturally. But in my position, that's kind of the main thing I think I've picked up on naturally. I'm not given much here, so I've got to kind of make it for yourself, you know what I mean? And fair play to anyone who is still cracking on. But
no, nothing's handed to you anymore. Like, as I said, going back to my business, at the time I touched lucky because I saw a niche in the market, which I robbed the idea from America. Yeah. But you try and find that next niche now is so difficult, because every corner is covered with something. It's
saturated in these days.
You see a shoe cleaner business, one pops up every day, a different one, because it's so easy to set up and so cheap to set up. That's what I mean. It's not until you ruin your first pair of shoes until you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's when you grow up. Yeah.
But it's like, I still search now next new businesses that are coming through. I struggle because everything's computer based, AI based. It is. Yeah. It's like, and then going back to the Instagram things you were saying and stuff like that, like Instagram's not real either as well. So people in this country, especially because of the weather thing, they see people living these lives, which some could be real, a lot are not. No. Through Instagram, where it's just like, it makes them feel a bit shit about themselves. Like, and you could use it in two ways. You could go positive, right? I want that life, so I'm going to work my ass off to get that life, to be where I want to be, where they are, blah, blah, blah. The other side is they just make them feel even more shit about themselves.
And that's happening daily. It is. It's mad. The power of the social media thing is frightening, but I even seen it when we were out there. You you're with certain people, and then you look at their Instagram and their social media, and you're like, no.
Yeah, no, 100%.
No. So it's funny, it really is. But I think that point of like the cost of everything, the tax and stuff like that, it does go into our industries as well, because I've noticed heavily, I had this glamorous idea of coming home and thinking, oh, I'll just get right back onto the second-hand clothes, kick it right back up the backside wheel, get it going again, and be dead excited with it. And then coming back into Liverpool to see how it is, with my experience and stuff like that, it's nowhere near valuable to how the industry is now.
This lad goes off over to Australia to get away from Liverpool, Merseyside, whatever you want to say. Obviously, he's got a few boys over there that he meets up with. And then who else did you meet when you were there?
Yeah, I did meet a Liverpool lady, if you do want to say that. Yeah, it's been a small world in that little Australia bubble of being caught up in there. It's mad. The amount of scouts out there is frightening, to be fair, but yeah. After travelling all them miles, I did meet my missus now, to be fair. We are about 2 years in. We met out there.
Didn't she live like something like 2 streets down from you or something like that?
Yeah, so we're about 7 minutes away from each other back at home, but out there we literally just crossed paths on a random Thursday or something like that. It was bizarre. You couldn't write it, but naturally I found that regardless of wherever I've went or whatever I've done, Scousers just always come together, don't we? Scouser can see that on a mile off. It's just always how it goes, in it. But that is exactly what happened there. It's like, she's a Scouser, straight. That was it then. Yeah. So yeah, that was a funny one, to be fair. It was a belter. But
when I was a kid, I went to Florida. My dad was like 10 years old, and you're saying Scouts being Scousers, see one everywhere. Yeah. We're in Disneyland walking through, and someone just shouts over, "All right, Aki." And someone's in Disneyland when I'm 10 years old knew me dad from the Chippy. I was just like,
couldn't write
yeah,
it,
100%.
It's a belter.
Yeah.
You do. Everywhere you go, no matter where I've went, always have been able to spot one, or I've ended up speaking to someone, or I've ended up having a belter night, or whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
Everywhere we
but
go.
you can just spot them a mile off as well.
Absolute mile off it is. Yeah. It's funny.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, I know that. And especially in certain places, you go to Glasgow, so it's just Scousers, might as well just be Liverpool, innit?
Yeah.
But I have noticed that as well. When we've been away, the amount of people that are there that are from Liverpool, and the amount of people who have lived there for years from Liverpool is absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, you're one of probably everyone I've come across to laugh at me for meeting me missus there now. Like, it's just, oh yeah, do you meet a Scouser out there, did you?
It's always like, you just congregate back to like, and float back to whatever it is that you're comfortable with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there is, you do, you just relate to what you relate to, what you already know. So nah, that was about that one. But no, it's been a journey, to be fair, since we've kind of got together. We've had a hell of a little ride, but coming back now, we're both happy. We are both content with being at home and kind of just kicking on, and never really letting that experience go, to be honest with you. That's kind of all
you went to other places with her, didn't you?
Yeah, we've travelled, we've done a few mad trips, to be honest with you. We had some boss little trips, but I think it's always a tough one for the women, especially. It's a total different game, you know, like, it's mad. The women miss things that I wouldn't even think of. I wouldn't even think of it, but she'd miss, like, the dog. She'd be missing, like...
I was missing that way.
Genuinely, like, the littlest things, like missing certain things, like if all the girls are going and doing something, she misses it, feels like she's missing out. It's completely, totally different. Whereas I'd miss me mad in the Everton game when we're winning, and that is literally it. I genuinely would. I'd
didn't miss that much then, like, yeah.
No. Can't fight. But I genuinely would speak to my mates, like, once a month, once every blue moon, and that'd be sad. Whereas she kind of went without certain things, or it really affected, and it wasn't the only one. You'd speak to other couples and speak to other people. You'd be like, "Is your beard like?" Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, I get it." And it's totally different experience for them. But no, we've had an absolute ball. We've had a laugh, to be fair. We've been here, there, and everywhere. But to be back now, I think it is exciting as well to both kick on. 25 this year as well, so kind of do wanna get some things going myself as well. So.
And proposing that, as well.
What?
Proposing that as well.
Yeah, don't start giving me all that, getting me in, putting the pressure on, telling you, be kids and all that nonsense. No, just leave me there for now. No, thank you. Yeah.
Right,
So,
I think you've heard enough from us now about ourselves, but Joe's going to tell you a bit about what we're coming up in the future.
yeah, what to expect. We have got a lot coming. Generally, we are not going to be a single topic podcast. So we are going to be touching on anything you could think about. We're going to be talking about it because we chat nonsense day in, day out. So let's just get it out there, isn't it? So we will be doing an episode around about once a month, getting it out there for you guys to listen to. And it will be filled with loads of exciting questions from you guys, so get over on the social media, let us know what you want to see, fire any questions in, get us talking, get us debating, whatever you're thinking. We're also going to be getting some really exciting guests in. We've got some boss ones lined up, haven't we, so far, so that'll be exciting as well. And then if there's anyone you'd love to see on there as well, fire it over, let us know. And that is kind of all we're going to be throwing out there, isn't it?
Right, so just before we go, just on another note, we want to actually dedicate this first episode, this first podcast to a friend of ours, Joe. We touched on him earlier from Exec Menswear. Fittingly, we're actually in the old Exec store. We're actually filming this from there. And sadly, Joe lost his life last year, completely out the blue. Really sad. A lot of people won't even know that yet. But yeah, so it'll probably come with a bit of a shock to a lot of people. And it's shocked me. It will, but no, it's definitely fitting to dedicate the episode to him, especially where we are. I think it's a deserved mention. Yeah, you know? 100%. He was a boss lad. Yeah, that is our first episode of the Grael Podcast. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening, and we will be back soon. Yeah, I'll see you all soon.